Today on Israel Hayom Insider, every year, tens of thousands of young Israelis begin their mandatory service in the Israel Defense Forces. But this year, 63 12th graders, organized by the Saar Vote Network, have signed an open letter to the government indicating their refusal to serve, due to what they called the Army's implementation of a racist government policy that violates human rights in the occupied territory. With me in the studio to discuss the controversy from the Saar Vote movement, one of the signers of the letter, Saar Yahalom, and from the Im Tirtzu organization, Kinneret Hamburger. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Saar, the letter calls on 12th graders to reconsider their service in the IDF, right? Israel has a government. It's a democracy. The government makes decisions about war and peace. Doesn't this letter essentially subvert Israeli democracy?
Well, we believe this letter to be a part of the Israeli democratic discourse, where we turn to the Israeli public to look on the policy of the government of occupation, of warmongering, and to struggle for a path of peace. And aside from that, we believe that the Israeli government is not a fully democratic government, because it decides its decisions impact the lives of Israelis and Palestinians living under the control of the Israeli army, who do not have a right to vote.
Okay. Why don't you turn to the army, as many people do, and say, you know what, I have a problem serving in the occupied territories in Judea and Samaria. I'd like to serve somewhere within the Green Line. The army often, sort of quietly allows this to happen. Why is that not an option, to serve somewhere that's more acceptable to you?
Well, we believe after 50 years of military occupation of the West Bank and the policy of war, of occupation, of not going into peace process with the Palestinians, the army has turned into a machine that surrounds this project. If you serve in a combat position, you will be in position in the occupied territories. But even if you're not in a combat position, you'll be handling the bureaucratic machine around the occupation. Like when you speak with Palestinians, you see the problem isn't just the soldiers invading the homes or the crime being committed, but the bureaucratic machine around the checkpoints and all of that.
Okay, Kinneret, with all due respect to Saar Vote and Saar and other people who are not planning to serve, 63 people doesn't exactly threaten the huge IDF. Why make a big deal about their refusal? Why not just let them stay at home? They don't want to serve. That's okay. It probably wouldn't do the army much good to try to recruit them anyway. Why make a big deal about it?
I think one of the main reasons that we're making a big deal out of it this year, especially, is because the Saar Vote and these 63 teenagers are saying that they're going to go and encourage other teenagers to refuse to draft into the army, and I think that's our main problem. But besides that, I believe that apart from the army, the IDF being Israel's main security system, the army, the IDF, is also a place where all Israeli society meets. It's probably the only place where they all meet. And I feel it's a shame that I won't have Saar and the 62 other friends serving by my side and saluting.
Okay, Kinneret, can you imagine a situation where you would refuse to serve? For example, if the army if you were given an order to take down settlements, for example, or some other, I don't know, something else that you ideologically opposed, is there a situation where you would refuse to serve?
Not that I can think of. I hope not. I think once you're in the army, you've got to obey to your orders. That's how an army works. That's how a system works. If we're going to go in and just mess around with the rules, nothing will come out of it. But besides of that, the army, Tsahal's spirit, the IDF spirit, which is something that every soldier learns during their basic training, talks about these different things, about orders that you have to obey to, and there are orders that may come. It doesn't happen. It's very, very extreme. Orders that are illegal and immoral, and that's where the IDF tells the soldier, if you get that kind of order, you're not allowed to obey to it.
Okay, Saar, in the same way, do you justify refusal by right-wing soldiers who maybe for right-wing reasons don't want to obey certain orders or don't want to serve? Would you say that's also justified?
Well, our focus isn't on the refusal itself, but on our stand, on our position about the occupation, on our reaching out to the Israeli public in order to promote peace. we have people sign on the letter who would support such a thing. We have people sign on the letter who wouldn't support such a thing. It's not something we're concerned with.
Okay. This is a question for both of you. Would you support an alternative non-military service for people who have an ideological problem with the IDF? Why don't refusers do some kind of alternative national service, like many religious girls and other people who don't go into the IDF? Is that something you'd support?
Well, in order to, we have some of the people who did go to jail who are right now in the civil service. But in order to be admitted into civil service, you first have to get the army to the ptor. You have to say the army
exception.
Exception. Thank you.
So the army has to give you an exemption before you can go into this alternative service or this non-military service.
It's not
Kinneret, what do you think about the idea?
I think that the army is a great opportunity for us to give back to the country, and I'm more than grateful to have this opportunity to defend my country, to defend my state, my family, something that my grandfather and his family couldn't do 70 years ago in Europe. It's just a great opportunity to actually serve my country and do the best I can there.
Kinneret, thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
And Saar, thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to thank the viewers, including our new viewers from Syria. And sign up for our newsletter. You'll get all the latest news in your inbox every day about Israel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Send us your feedback, and we will see you next time.